All right. So I want to welcome John Anderson onto the deal here. So I'm really excited to really share his story with you. It's definitely a divine intervention type story. It's one of those types of stories. So I really am excited to really have him here. Just kind of share a little bit about kind of his transition journey from, actually he was, living in California and decided to make a transition over to Dallas, Texas. And he had a formal role there in California, but was no longer there at his last company and was looking for something for quite some time. And we connected, and in a very short period of time, he was able to land something quite nice here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. So I want to go ahead and welcome John Anderson. And John, love to just start this off and just ask you a few questions. And so the first question is, what was your situation, before we started working together?
Yeah, a situation was interesting at the time. At the in August of last year, August 2021, my last position ended, and my family and I we decided to make a kind of a life transition. COVID was running wild, and we decided to make a change and made the exciting but stressful and difficult decision to relocate across the country from Northern California to the DFW area. Have some family in the area, so was able to make some connections there, and so you know, on top of preparing to move, on top of selling a house and looking for a new house to buy in a really crazy market, hey, I needed a job, and so and I needed a job in a state that have never lived in before. I had a lot of connections on LinkedIn, a lot of professional connections in the Northern California and Southern California area, but not so much in a state halfway across the country. Um, so I was looking, I was scrambling, and I had applied to various roles just through company websites and such, and got a little bit of action, but not a whole lot. And it was a frustrating, a bit of a lonely journey doing it, attempting to do it by myself on top of everything else that was going on, just those life situations. And so yeah, it was um, you said earlier, a divine appointment. I said some divine intervention there. Um, I believe I responded to one of your LinkedIn posts about responding to some survey you were doing for your doctorate work. Um, and so, my job at the time was just to be on LinkedIn and to search for roles and such. And I was at a point, I think, a pretty low point of being a little frustrated, and I think feeling alone in the process. And I figured, hey, I had to engage with anybody and everybody, and so I think just out of happenstance, I either clicked like or I clicked a yes on a question, or I provided some sort of response in the moment, and then we started to connect, via LinkedIn Messenger there, and and I think that's where relationship started, right?
No. Yeah, absolutely. No, I remember
Yeah.
that too. I remember, and I think during that time, I was kind of asking a lot of people who were just kind of having challenges in their job search,
Yes.
what were those challenges? And I remember, you gave some really good insight in terms of just some of the things that you were dealing with. And eventually we had a Zoom call, during that time, we were all on Zoom back during that time during the pandemic. And you shared some really valuable insight in terms of just some of the things that you were dealing with. And so I said, you know what? I really want to be able to develop something that's really going to help the job seeker, that's going through this. And so you were like, hey, just let me know, once you do have to develop, I'd love to hear what's going
Yeah.
on. And so you were one of the first people that came to mind once the thing was developed. But I really appreciate you taking the time during that time to have that conversation. Cause I think even during that time, I think you had applied to, I don't know, 300 plus roles, or you had like, no, actually about 75 plus roles or something like that. And then
Mhm.
also on top of that, you had been looking for quite some time, but yet wasn't necessarily, getting the roles or the jobs that you were looking for at the level that you were
Yeah.
looking for. So it was really interesting or really just amazing to see how quick, once we started working, how quick within a couple of weeks or so, once we officially started working, how quick we were able to land your next role. So, what were some of those tangible results that you actually achieved after you started working with us?
Yeah, so I when I came out one time to the DFW area to do some searching, and then we connected at a restaurant, and we had lunch, and I wanted to make sure that this Chooks guy was legit, and make sure
I'm
there was a
real.
real person behind a real person behind the screen there. Um, and then yeah, it was, I think it was the late April, early May of last year is when, like, I said, okay, let's do it. I jumped into the career calibration system with you, with your lovely wife Virginia, and met others in the course, in the system, and we began to, you and the system began to provide some tools there. What I think one of my biggest takeaways is I've always engaged with LinkedIn. I think I've done a pretty good job of that over the course of my career,
Mhm.
but you brought to the table and showed me and the rest of the team, so like, how to leverage it fully, or leverage it even more than what we were
Yeah.
was doing, and to using your expertise and your background to really unpack everything that's there to help in the search, and let LinkedIn do some of the searching for you. We talked about this internal referral champions and the hidden job market, and how to try and to tap into that. And that's something before, yeah, I guess the whole cliche, it's not what you know, it's who you know, in order to kind of get to the next step, whatever that's, a job or a promotion or some insight on something. But that really came to fruition for me personally in this experience, as we came down to the line here. And, and I think probably, Chooks, the biggest thing of all is your encouragement and some of the tools that you provided for me personally, and then also to the group, what was mindset, of how to approach a job search. Um, because, and I wrote this down on my notes here, finding a job on your own, I felt, can be very lonely and really pretty disheartening.
Oh,
And so, I felt like you were a partner with me. I mean, you didn't do the work for me.
yeah.
You didn't do that at all. And I think I even, like, asked that question at lunch. I said, so are you going to find me these jobs? Like, how does this thing work? And you're like, slow down, bro. No, this is not how what it is.
Right.
Eat your brisket. Let me explain what it is one more time. And so, but it's the whole teach a man to fish type of concept,
Yeah.
and you taught me how to do that,
Mhm.
um, and with different tools of technology and such. But I think mindset was the biggest thing. Is that, not don't take a job rejection personally. I mean, it's more so it's their loss that they didn't,
Yeah.
pursue me, and such. And so I think the combination of all that really helped me kind of approach the job search a bit differently. And then, we started officially into the career calibration right away. I think early May, and it was, by the end of the May, I had a job.
Yeah.
And I'm in that job right now. And so, I'm not going to deny there wasn't, potentially some divine intervention in there because of
Absolutely.
other life circumstances that were going on
Yeah.
with my family and me at the time.
Mhm.
But, I'll never forget that week. I had a job interview on Monday, a second interview on Tuesday. We got some difficult news about my family on Wednesday. Thursday, a final interview. Friday, I got the job.
Got the
And I think you were the after I called my wife, I think I called you, and then let you know that it
Yeah.
was happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it again, it really just unpacked in my own mind, mind and heart, the task of finding a job, and how having a partner with some tools, having a partner with the proper mindset, having some partners, just with the whole thing, can really make the job search less lonely, less disheartening, and, and you keep at it, it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and I feel blessed. Mine happened pretty quickly, and
Yeah.
I know it doesn't always happen that way for everybody, but mine happened pretty stinking quickly. And so,
Yeah.
for that, I'm grateful. And I know I've said this to you, Chuxi, when we met the other day. I'm so grateful for you and your wife and the system. I really feel like, yeah, we accomplished something here, but I feel like I gained a friend, too, and a teammate. So, it's just a great experience overall, and uh, that's kind of
Yeah.
those are some of my takeaways.
Yeah. No, what a great, great story. And yeah, I agree. I mean, I think there was definitely some divine intervention there too as well. And it was just amazing to see how quick things moved for you.
Yes.
It's literally within 10 days, I think it was. It just boom, 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 boom. Everything was just working and coming into alignment. So yeah, it's just wonderful to hear that story and to see that. And that's our goal. We want to make sure that, you're able to land something fairly quickly. You're not necessarily stuck for, months or years trying to look for an opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's good that, and it's awesome to how, and also one of the things that I took away just, working with you directly, John, was how, quick you were able to just grasp all of these things. You were able to really, okay, you said, all right, I'm going to follow the program. I'm going to follow, trust the system.
Yeah.
Okay, you're the expert. I'm going to do what you're telling me to do. And you did it. Boom, boom, boom. And then you were able to land your opportunity very quickly. So happy for you. So now you're in this, amazing role, amazing opportunity. And doing very well. And we're just so happy to have you here. Welcome to Texas, and we're very happy to have you here. So awesome. So, what advice would you give someone who, I guess, they're considering to work with us? Maybe they're on the fence, or they're wondering, hey, I need some help. I mean, or we're in the same situation that you were in. I mean, what advice
Yeah.
would you give someone who wants to work with us?
I would say, buy you lunch and, just make sure he's really. I know not everybody can do that, and you probably would, get inundated. No, I was thinking about this, and it's kind of the same kind of concept of an internal referral champion. I
Mhm.
got connected to who's now my boss via LinkedIn from someone else I worked with before,
Yeah.
and that someone else I worked with before trusted and had faith and confidence in me to say, "Hey, I'm going to vouch for this for John to this other guy that I don't really know very well, who is now my boss." And that's how the connection was made. And so, um, if anyone is considering working with you in career calibration, uh, call me. I mean, I'll share that my insight and my experience. And my experience is not for everybody. There's different stories, but give it a shot. And just if you were in any sort of spot that I was at the time when I got introduced to Chooks, um, again, I'm gonna go back to it. I felt alone, I felt disheartened, and I felt
Mhm.
like I couldn't do it by
Mhm.
myself. And so I really believe, and I'll keep harping on this, it's gotta be a partnership. You gotta find someone to come alongside of you. And maybe a family member is not the right person because, but someone who has that industry experience and someone who has some different tools and someone who can help kind of shift your mindset a little bit more towards really what it takes to search for a new role. And I believe I found that with Chooks in Virginia and the career calibration team in the process. I would say, what do you got to lose?
Mhm.
you know, if anything, there's going to be something you're going to be able to take away to help improve your job search, whether it's with the team or whether you go on your own. And so, obviously, I feel like it's a great system. I feel like I made a great friend through the process.
Yeah.
But give it a shot. And if you want more information from me, call me. I'll hit me up on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We'll connect. And
Yeah.
Truth is not paying me to say this, but I think um, it's worth your time. It's worth your effort, and you'll be successful.
Awesome. Awesome. Wow. No, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, John. And it's just been such an honor and pleasure just to work with you. I mean, it's just been absolutely amazing. And you had said something that really stuck out. A lot of people don't realize that that whole job search process, it can be a very lonely process, and
Yeah.
especially if you never really have done it. It's the way that people look for jobs 20, 30 years ago has changed dramatically.
Oh,
And so
huge. Yeah.
it's very much digital. It's very much behind a computer screen. It's very much um, uh, not very personal, obviously. I mean, it's very difficult.
Mhm.
And so some people don't realize that sometimes, it's good to have someone alongside who can maybe help you and help you navigate some of that and do that, a little bit more efficiently. And I think often, coaching programs, that can be very, very helpful because you can get there a lot quicker than you would on your own. Right. So it's just awesome that, we've been able to work with you to kind of see your story and just the amazing story. And then, of course, I feel like I've met a really good friend as well, and your wonderful, beautiful family. So I still owe you a brisket. So we're gonna
You
definitely.
do. I'm gonna hold you to it. But
So
anyway, hit me up on LinkedIn. I'll let you know if you actually post it there. So
uh, awesome. Well, Josh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure just working with you, and thank you so much
likewise.
for doing this. So thank you. All right.
Thank you, brother.
All right.